Hello everyone, welcome to Creative Stamping Designs. My name is Karen. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Central New Jersey, and I go by Creative Stamping Designs. We are going to make a fun fold card today using some new products. I'm just trying to see if we're live here, because of course my computer's not cooperating with me. So then I can see if we're kind of straight. Ooh, nope, I'm not. I'm kind of crooked here. It's a little, I think I'm making it worse. Sorry. Not sure if I should move the paper or if I should move. Okay, that looks pretty straight. I had a, for some reason, everything was too hot or too low. All right. Hey, Tara, thanks for hopping on. All right. I'm going to hop right into the card and I'll go over just some things. I'll mention some things going on while I am doing the video. The only thing I did want to let everybody know about is, where is it? Okay. We've got starting, I believe it's February, get my dates mixed up, February 3rd to March 2nd. There's a new joining special going on. It's our regular starter kit, which is $99 for $125 of product. And Stampin' Up! Is going to give you the new Stampin' Positioner that will be available only to new demonstrators. If you remember a ways back, we had the Stamparatus, but we couldn't sell it anymore. But it's a whole new positioner. I don't have mine yet. My order is expected tomorrow, but I don't know I don't think I'm getting the positioner. That's probably coming a few days later. But when we get it, I will post something, or when I get it, I'll post something about it. And hopefully if I can get these lives going at a regular, more of a steady day, I'll have it with the next live that I do. But this will be available starting February 3rd through March 2nd. It will only be available to new demonstrators. It'll be added on. You pick your $125 a product. It costs $99. It ships for free, and they will throw in one of the positioners for you. They said it will eventually be available to purchase, but they don't know when yet. So, and if you are a demonstrator, then you can purchase. We have a very small window. I think it's a 2-week window that we're allowed to purchase it. All right. That's it for right now. I will go over other stuff as I'm talking. All right. So I'm going to be using basically the whole suite. The Simply Beautiful stamp set and dies. The Beautifully Celebrated, I needed this calls for a celebration, but then I also used the dies from that. And then I needed a small happy birthday, and the Loveliest Tree had one that was the perfect size that I needed. And I just wanted to show you something that I did. As you know, when you get your stamp sets now, there's like with this one here. Oh, that's a cling set. Of course, I don't have one handy. Okay, well, you have I guess we'll call it a map on it. Well, when you get these, this is all you get, and it's blank inside. So what I did is I stamped the images so I know what's supposed to be in there. So yes, it does say on the front that you're supposed to have 13 stamps, but I don't know about you. I don't like when, you know, I have 12 stamps and I'm always dropping the clear things and you can't find clear things. And I don't know which stamp I'm missing. So, all right, let's get started here. All right, so I'm starting with a 4¼ by 11-inch card base of Petal Pink. All the measurements, everything will be on my blog tomorrow. All right, the fun fold part of this is on the inside. Hey, Rosie, thanks for joining. Hi, Gloria. Thank you for joining. I'm going to try to, I wish I can enlarge the, what are they? The message, not the comments coming in because I can't see them. You're unpacking yours now, Tara? You're lucky. I second dayed mine, so I'll get mine tomorrow, hopefully, as long as the weather, wherever it's coming from, is holding out. All right, so I have a panel of the, oh, I can't remember the name. Oh my goodness. And I don't even know where my paper is. Lovely and Beautiful, DSP. So on one side of this paper, there's gold, and the other side doesn't have it. With this card, I needed something fairly light on the front, with not too busy like this. So unfortunately, I hate covering the other side. All right, and I'm just adhering that to a Fresh Freesia matte. And I use seal, and I don't usually use seal. All right. I did do a little bit of stamping and cutting. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay, well, it's done already. Hang on, let me find my other piece. I was going to stamp the flowers on this panel and cut them out because they're being covered, but I forgot to. All right, so we're going to stamp them on. Luckily, I had another panel of the Fresh Freesia. And I'm stamping them with Versamark. So I'm going to use my little, my anti-static, I'll call it. I cannot remember the name. I'm a little rusty here. I haven't been live in a while. So I'm going to stamp the large and the small flowers. I don't know. I'm going to stamp 2 of the small flowers, but I think I'm probably only going to be able to fit one of them on the front. So we're going to stamp the large flower. Make sure it came out. And then I'm going to stamp 2 of the small flowers. Make sure they're far enough apart. I just stamped something the other day, and the one flower was right on top of the other one, and I did not realize it. I'm going to get my white embossing powder. So there's no coloring to do for this one on here. And I will try to look up every once in a while for comments. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to draft my daughter to come in here with me. So when I'm doing live, she can read the comments for me. Just going to go over this one a little bit more. I have to be honest, when I pulled this set out and decided to use it, I knew what I was going to do. I cut the paper, and then I pulled the flower out, and I did not realize how big this flower was. This flower's a whole, oops, sorry, to stick my arm there. Flower's a whole card front. All right, so I'm going to use my heat tool. There's 2 settings. One is for drying, the other is for heating, and I'm just going to start it off to the side so it heats up. I'm sorry, it's going to get a little bit loud. I did this, I like stamping with the white on the color paper, and then I don't have to worry about coloring it. It just gives it a different effect. There we go. I am going to need the heat tool one more time, but we'll just set it to the side. Oh, thank you, Rosie. I appreciate that. And then I'm going to get the dies. Hey, Pam, thanks for joining. All right. So I'm just going to line this up the best I can. And actually, I'm going to get my Post-it tape out, because moving from the desk to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, because I'm not going to bring it on the table because it'll shake the table, everything will go out of place. And I just prefer to use the Post-it note tape just so I know it's in place. Oh, I got that put a little bit quicker than I expected. And this one's going to move because I have two small pieces, and I'll be right back. I am the crookedest die cutter you can imagine. That's the other reason I need to put some the Post-it note tape, because it never fails. I always cut crooked. Okay. There we go. And then I'll see, like I said, whether I'm going to use one or two of the small flowers. Put the dies back so I don't lose them. And then I already stamped and die cut the leaves, and I die cut this little, this one was from the Beautifully Celebrated, and I die cut this one here. Just, I don't know if I'm adding them. I just figured let me cut them ahead of time. And I think I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. Oh my goodness. The dog is barking away down there. think we have company, and she does not like people coming in the house. And I am a half-dimensional person. I prefer my half-dimensionals mainly because then I don't feel guilty when I put a whole bunch of them on. And I probably shouldn't have put that many because I have to slip the leaves in, but I'll figure it out. Hello, Patricia. Thank you for joining. And let's see where we're going to put this one. We're going to put it right about there. I did not make this card ahead of time. For anybody who has seen me before, you know I am the type of person that I make my cards on the fly. I do not make them ahead of time. So one, I don't have to worry about if I, make a mistake when I'm making it. I just do whatever. There we go. So put the leaf on, and I used the glue dots for the leaf. And then I'll just put this one over the top and just actually going to put, let's see where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put one dimensional, decide where I want it, and then I'll put another one. I'll sneak another one underneath. And I do that a lot because sometimes I don't know where I want the flower to go, and I'm just going to put a glue dot under with the two flowers connecting. That way I don't have to worry about it going anywhere. And then we'll get the glue dots and put another leaf on the other side. I do have one more leaf. I don't know. Again, I don't think I'm going to put the other one. And we'll kind of slip that right in there like that. Right, and then I'm just gonna slip this underneath. Try to slip it underneath. And I'm just going to use a little liquid glue on this because I just want it to slide under. And if it pops up, that's okay. Let's see if I can get another one. Just like that. You're not really going to see this, only because it's vellum. The only one who will, I'm sure, I don't know if you can even see it on the video because it's almost clear. It went over a little, but that's okay. It's going to go on top of that. And I'm going to hold off with this other piece because I need to put the sentiment. And I think I'm just going to put the two flowers. I'll just hold on to the other one. I have a piece of Granny Apple Green. Now, the colors in this DSP, there's Fresh Freesia, there's Petal Pink, and it's Old Olive. I liked the Granny Apple Green personally with these colors, but you can do whatever you would like because they're your cards. All right. So I'm gonna, the piece is a little bit big, I believe, for the sentiment, but I figured I'd rather it a little big and cut it down then not have it big enough. And I had to pull out a block. We do not carry this block any longer, but I couldn't fit this sentiment even on, it was too big for this block. I mean, I could have gone on an angle, but I put it on a block we don't carry anymore. I'm very sorry about that, but that's what worked for me. I didn't even, when I was looking for a block to put it on, I didn't even think to put it on an angle on the big block. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it like at the bottom of the panel so then I can trim it. Because otherwise it's going to be way too big. And again, I'm going to heat emboss this too. My embossing powder again. Oh, it's inside. So don't forget bonus days are going on until February 2nd. For every $75 order, you get $75 or $50 order. It is. Every $50 order that you place, you get a $5 bonus coupon. And they will email them to you. And then you can use them starting February 3rd. Oh, I'm getting my second and thirds mixed up. All right. And now I'm just going to heat emboss this and then I'll trim it down. Tweezer so I don't burn my fingers with this one. Doesn't matter how long I've been stamping, heat embossing never gets old. I don't know about you. All right, while I'm trimming this, I couldn't decide if I wanted to put the ribbon or not that goes with this suite on the card. So let me open it up. And I was going to put it just across the bottom right under the sentiment. So while I'm trimming, let me know what you think, if I should put the ribbon or not put the ribbon. So it would go underneath, right underneath the sentiment. And I'm going to trim this down a little. I had cut this paper to 1.5, but I knew I only needed 1.25. I'm just going to trim this on the sides too. Just so it's, only because it's a very large sentiment. 4 5/8. I got to write that down so I don't forget. All right. So, look, Tara's saying ribbon, ribbon, ribbon. That means we're putting ribbon. I'm going to get my ribbon scissors. All right. So the sentiment's going to go right there. So, whoops. I'm going to put it just like that. We'll wrap it around. And what I do And I hope I have it in the right spot. I'm going to put a little seal just to, and I put it too high. And that's one of the reasons I use seal, because then I can move it down a little. Ooh, this ribbon does fall apart though. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. So what I'm going to do though, I want to make sure it's going to stay. So what I do sometimes, just to be sure, because I don't want it to come loose, is I just throw a piece of tear and tape over the top of it. And that should keep it in place. All right. And I'm going to adhere the sentiment with dimensionals, especially since the flowers have dimensionals. But I'm putting the dimensionals on either side of the ribbon instead of getting them in the wrong spot on the paper. Go. I'm just going to center that. So you don't see a lot of the ribbon, but it just has that little bit of a gold touch. All right, and then I am going to adhere this with liquid glue, but let me just, I'm going to put the other little sprig. Whoop. Maybe not. There we go. Just going to have it coming out from that one. I had to put 3. I like to do things in 3s. So I have 3, even though I only have 2 flowers, I have 3 leaves, 3 sprigs. Come on, I had it in there. There we go. All right, and I am going to adhere this with liquid glue because the inside is going to be a little bit bulky. And you know what? I'm going to take that off, so then this will just stick there too. Make sure my card's going to be opening the right way. And then I'm going to give it a press on the back. I always like to press the back of it because my hands can be dirty. And we're going to put a couple embellishments on the front, and the front of the card will be finished. And I have the pearlized faceted circles. You always need bling, especially if it's a birthday card. You have to have bling. So let's see. I think I'm actually going to use the Calypso Coral only because just to give it a little bit more color. It's not going to give it a lot of color, but just a little bit. There we go. Just give it a little extra pop of color. All right, so that's the front of the card. Now, the inside, I got to get my trimmer. I did not do this ahead of time so that I could show you. Let me make sure my trimmer's in the cutting blade out of the way. Whoops, sorry, out of the way. So I have another panel of the Lovely and Beautiful. Again, there's gold on the other side, but I wanted this, and this is where I got my colors from. And like I said, they say this is Old Olive, but I think the Granny Apple Green goes better. So I'm going to score it at, the piece is 4 by 6. So I'm going to score it at 3 inches. I'm going to flip it because that's going to be a mountain fold. All right. And then I'm going to score it at 1 inch. And 5 inches. So it's actually 1 inch on each side. Oh, no, it wasn't supposed to be 1. It was supposed to be 1.5. Ah, that's okay. That's all right. I can fix that. So it's 1.5 inches on each side. So it's 1.5, 3, and 4.5. Oh my goodness, sorry. The correct measurements will be on my blog tomorrow. Okay, and that other score line, because it's a pattern, it's not real noticeable. So the center one is a mountain fold. Let me get my bone folder. And then the side ones are going to be valley folds. Okay, and then I'm going to use tear and tape, only because I feel a little more confident with it holding in place. We're going to do the same on this side. Whenever there is like a little mechanism that is going to hold, be moving, I just prefer tear and tape for that. All right. And I'm sorry, this is going over the half hour that I planned. I did not realize it was going to take that long to do the card. This paper does not have directions, so I don't have to worry about where it's going or which way it's going. So what I'm going to do, I'm using my grid paper. I'll make sure the grid paper's in the... And I'm going to come in to the 3-inch mark and just go up, leave that 1/8 inch border, I think it is, because this was a piece of, it was 4 inches and the card's 4 1/4, so it's an 1/8 inch on either side. There. There, and then all I'm going to do is fold the back onto it. So that when the card stands up on a mantle or whatever, you've got the little floral on the inside. All right. I have 2 more panels to go on either side that I am going to stamp on. And we're going to hope that we get these straight the first time. So I have, because it's a pastel card, I'm using Smoky Slate ink. And on the one side, I'm stamping Simply the Best. And it's a tight fit. Actually, I can go up a little higher on this one. And on the other one, oops, almost stamped the same thing. The other one, we're going to stamp the happy birthday. And I'm going to admit I'm out of practice with cling, so give me a second. I got to... Okay, it's pretty lined up. I've been using so much photopolymer that I forgot about how to use the cling stamps. And I'm just going to stamp the happy birthday on this one. I'm going to go up a little bit so there's room to write below it. See if I... Paper has two sides. There's always a reason that it has two sides, but I have to come down a little bit. Must be a little bit off on my block. That's better. Okay, it's gonna do. And then I am gonna stamp the flower on the bottom of this one. Again, in the smoky slate. So I got the flower, and then I have the leaf die from the Simply Beautiful, or no, I can't remember the name of the set. Not Simply Beautiful, the other one. Hold on. Beautifully Celebrated. I have the leaf from that because those other leaves were too big. And to do it, I had already masked. I made a mask of the flower. Just... There you go. All right. Give it a quick color. And again, I'm sticking with the colors. Since the flower on the front was Fresh Freesia, I'm coloring this one with Fresh Freesia. And I'm not doing any kind of fancy coloring. I'm not a fancy colorer. I do just highlight a little bit and then go over it with the light color. And that kind of just blends it. Some people do the light first and then go over it with the dark and then blend it with the light again. Depends on my mood, how I color it. So we have bonus days going on. We also, the product of the month, and you could still purchase, the product of the month is the stamp set, Fabulous Sayings or something like that. But the January product of the month is still available, so you can still get that if you don't want the stamp set, the saying set. You could still get the pack of DSP. As far as I know, they haven't run out of that yet, but you only can get one or the other. You cannot get both. So even if you were to place a $150 order, you can only get the one. Now, I believe if you were to place two $75 orders, with your second order, you could probably get the other one. Tara, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's how it works. You can only get one with the order, but if you do place a second order, then you can get the other one. Whoops. All right, and then these are going to go right on the side. Again, the measurements will be on my blog tomorrow, which is creativestampindesigns.com. I'll have the measurements and directions of how I made it. Along with a link to this video. All right. And this is where I use liquid glue all the time, because inside, for some reason, I always need that wiggle room. So we're going to put this one on this side, and it's the same size, so that I could have gone a little smaller to give a little bit more border, but I wanted to make sure there was room to write. Oops, need my glue still. Just leave that open, let it dry. And we have a piece for the envelope flap, which we'll put on real quick, and our card's going to be done. So I'm hoping to continue doing Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. That seems to be a time that's been working for me, that I've been home. I did do the one video, and then between the holidays and I was away for in Las Vegas for the Backstage conference. So, and that was on a Thursday, and then I figured I'd wait till after the holidays. And I already stamped the flower on the front, colored it. But there you go. It just, the inside, just it's little fun fold, just so when somebody opens it up. Now I can, if you want, you can always put a flower or put something popping out from here, which I might still, because I do have one leaf and I have a flower, and I might just add it. I'll see what I decide to do. But that's it. I hope you like it. Hope you give it a try. Like I said, everything will be on my blog tomorrow. The measurements, a link to the video. And I hope you will give it a try. And if you do, I post this on my Facebook page. In the comments, post your card of what you did with it. Thank you, Pam. Thanks, Tara. Thank you, Rosie. Appreciate it. Okay, I did take a little longer. I'm sorry. It was a little more detailed than I expected. It looked like an easy card when I was pulling it up together. Hopefully I'll be on next week, and I hope to see you again then. Thanks for joining, everyone. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at creativestampindesigns@gmail.com. I'd be more than happy to help you out. If you are not a demonstrator and you're interested in becoming one, wait until February and contact me. I'd love to have you on the team. It's a very relaxed team that we just like to stamp together, talk. No, there's never any pressure to sell. All right. Thanks for joining, everyone. Hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.